guys, in this video I'm going to be going over something I get asked about all the time, which is how do you stay motivated to draw and how do you get out of drawing slumps, which I go through, pretty much every artist does, unless you're like my daughter, who never gets tired of painting and drawing and is always working on absolute masterpieces. That's awesome, Bug. So how do you get out of slumps and how do you stay inspired?
Usually it's just inspiration from other artists, like on Instagram or whatever. Like somebody will totally inspire me and I just get really excited to draw. Yeah.
So right now I'm gonna give you guys my top 10 ways that I get out of drawing slumps. Okay guys, so my number 10 way to get out of a drawing slump is to clean up my workspace. So I'm not actually a particularly clean person. I get messy and stuff like that, but when it comes to realizing that I'm in a rut or a slump, that is the first thing I'll do, is just make sure that my workspace is nice and clean, my drawing area where I usually draw is picked up and ready to go, so that like if I do get some inspiration to draw, it's all laid out there, it's ready to go, my pencils are all sharpened, everything's ready. So that is number 10. That's the one thing that I start out with. So my number 9 thing that I do when I realize I'm in a drawing slump is to cut back on distractions that occupy my mind, if that makes sense. A TV show, like binge watching Netflix. Those generally aren't too bad though, because I know it's going to end. If I binge watch all weekend, then at the end of the weekend, it's done and I'm pretty much over it, right? But video games are definitely a thing that can suck you dry as far as being inspired to draw and things like that, because it's generally continuous. Like with Destiny is a good example. I played that with my brother for a while, and sometimes when I play games like that, they're so involved you forget how much time you're actually spending playing video games. And I could probably say for the most part, and this is probably true of a lot of artists or artists that also game, is that, man, if I spend as much time drawing as I do playing some of these video games, I'd probably be a lot better. So that's my number 9 thing. That's one of the first couple things I check off, like, hey, I need to take a break from this and get back into drawing. The number 8 thing that I look at when I'm in a drawing slump is I try and listen to more music. Like sometimes, the day just speeds up. At work, I'll be doing other things. Sometimes I listen to talk radio. And so if I'm in a slump, I look for inspiration in music. And music really inspires me. So music alone, sometimes I'll just put on a playlist that, music I really like, or even classical music. And I'll just let my mind kind of think about the music, and especially classical. I feel like that really, there's no lyrics to distract, so I can really kind of daydream. It really inspires daydreaming in me, I guess. And so that's another thing that I'll try and work into my schedule, whatever, is just to listen to music and try and pull myself out or get some inspiration that way. So number 7. Number 7 thing to get out of a slump is be around other artists or people that inspire you. And you can kind of get it through the internet, but it's really helpful if you have someone in your life that also likes art and can inspire you and you can talk about art with. My wife enjoys art a lot as well, and so sometimes just talking with her about projects or things that I should be working on can help motivate me to pick up a pen and pencil. So that's definitely something I would encourage. If you guys can find local people that are also interested in art, or at your school, somebody who you can talk to about art, just to be around it, just to like get it as a part of your life, is definitely something where if you can seek that out when you're in a slump, it will definitely help you get out of a slump. So that's number 7. So my number 6 thing to get out of a slump is kind of like 7, but more social media, is follow artists that inspire you. I hope I inspire some of you guys with my videos and things like that. That's the intent, because I have artists that I go to my Instagram account and I just can't wait to see what new drawings or things they come up with. Graphite Nightmare is a guy, I love seeing his artwork. It's just beautiful stuff. There's a local tattoo artist named Chase Tafoya that I really like to look at his art. And then if I'm just bored or something and I'm gonna search the internet, either going to DeviantArt or even Pinterest and just searching maybe some things that I'm interested in at the moment. And these are all things like the Slump stuff, just to get these top 5 or the top half of the 10 are really just to get you inspired thinking about art and things like that. So yeah, I would say the number 6 thing I do is definitely go to social media and look at other artists' work, see what they're working on, and go from there. So my number 5 is to sit down and just doodle. I doodle a lot. And doodling sometimes, because a lot of times the drawing slump is brought about by not having inspiration. Like you're just like, I don't know what I want to draw. I'm not inspired to draw really anything. But you still need to practice. And so I doodle constantly. I doodle at work. I'm sure any notes pages I have from meetings and things like that, there's doodles all over them. So that's another thing I do. And sometimes like I'll be doodling and I'll get an idea to draw based on doodles. In fact, there was a whole series of drawings I did, Furball Creations. I think I have some of them, I'll show you here. So if you guys have followed my YouTube channel for a while now, these were the Furball Creations. They're kind of like these robot animals. I also did some pen and ink versions of them, but they started from a doodle. I remember I was doodling with some pens and I started making shapes and I thought, that kind of looks like a little robot animal or something. And so it started a whole series. I don't know how many of these, I think I did at least 10 of these drawings. So sometimes those doodles can inspire you to start a whole series or something like that. So doodling is definitely something that I always do to and it'll pull me out of a slump for sure. So that's number 5. So my number 4 thing to pull me out of a slump is to draw still lifes. I always kind of come back to that, and I know it's practice because I don't get that much enjoyment out of just still lifes. Figure drawing, I love figure drawing, and I can always kind of go back to figure drawing and get inspiration there too. And so a lot of times I'll start out with just a few figure drawings, and sometimes that figure, whatever figure it is, the pose or whatnot, will inspire me. But I really enjoy figure drawing. I think the human body is beautiful, especially women, and I really enjoy, I know I enjoy drawing that. So that's something I always kind of come back to, and I can get myself out of a slump if I just get some nice poses and do some figure drawing. So that's number 4. So number 3 on my list to get out of a slump is fan art. So a lot of times you guys see that I do original artwork. Like I like my own ideas, and that's predominantly what I stick with. But occasionally, if I'm in a slump, I'll take let's say Star Wars was a good example. I did a bunch of these Star Wars drawings. I did a series of these because I was really inspired by the movie. And I'll put my own twist on these, but sometimes I just go straight up and draw the character, especially if I'm in a slump and for some reason the creative juices just aren't flowing. I'll just take a character. Wolverine is a character I've drawn quite a few times, and a lot of times I draw him in a slump because I'm just not feeling creative and I need to spark some, get some juices flowing kind of stuff. And so I'll draw a character I really enjoy. Maybe I'll draw them in like a fight scene or something like that, something fun. But I really try to focus on fun when I'm trying to get out of a slump. So fan art is definitely a good thing to do, to revert to when you're in a slump. So the number 2 thing on my list is to start a big project. And that might seem odd because it's kind of daunting, but the planning and the thumbnails that go into a project, maybe that's a little bit more involved. For me, my daughter's children's book that I finished, and I actually still need to do a video on. I'll show you that. So here's the children's book, and this was a big project that I started. This is a big size book, but this is a hardcover book. This was a big project that I did. Those 2 videos will be coming out soon, but this was really involved, and it gave me a goal to shoot for. Goals are really important, I feel like, and having a project like this that I continually worked on, if there was ever a slump or anything like that, generally I just go right back to this, because I did take breaks from this, and I do drawings and things like that that didn't involve this while I was working on it. So having this project, and you can even have multiple projects going on at one time, just so you have always something that you can kind of go back to, and you have a goal to say, hey, I want to have this done in like 6 months. This took me longer than 6 months just because I started, I don't know if you guys followed some of the early goings of this, but I think I had 3 different styles that I had decided on and then halfway through got rid of. But starting a big project, having a goal for that project, and working on thumbnails, things like that, for me, definitely keeps me out of slumps and can get me out of a slump if I start a new project, which actually I'm thinking of starting a new project pretty soon here. So, because I'm done with this one. I've actually kind of started the idea of a new project, and I've been working on it with the fairy illustrations, which you guys will see in my next sketchbook update video. But yeah, so that's kind of a project that's in the works. So big project, that's number 2, and having goals is number 2 on my list. So that leaves me with the number 1 thing that keeps me motivated and keeps me out of a slump, or gets me out of a slump, and I can't stress this enough, is a routine, a drawing routine. Anytime I go through a slump, even if I'm in the slump and I have my routine going, I still draw. Even if I'm not as motivated, that routine, just like working out or anything like that, can help you so much avoid a slump. I draw on my lunch break every single day. I try to, unless something comes up like a meeting or something that I didn't foresee, then I draw on my lunch break. And that, since I started doing that about 3 years ago, I would have to say I've drawn more in the last 3 years than I ever have in my entire life because of that routine, and I've really stuck with it. So I can't stress that enough, is having a drawing routine where you find at least an hour every single day to draw just helps so much. It has saved me as an artist, and I feel like I've gotten so much better because of just having that routine and sticking with a goal of drawing for an hour every day. And so one of the things that helps with that routine is, like, this is my little pouch of drawing stuff. So I always have this in my truck and with me, and then I have my sketchbooks, which you guys see all the time in my sketchbook videos. Strathmore tone tan tape paper is what I use, and then I just have assortment of pencils in here, and so that routine just keeps me drawing all the time, and I really enjoy it. It's just, I feel like I'm able to come up with all kinds of different ideas and things like that. But it is definitely the number 1 thing that gets me out of a slump and keeps me from going into a slump. So anyway, so that's my list, top 10 things to get out of a drawing slump and stay out of a drawing slump. And also, it really just helps you stay motivated as an artist. So anyway, I hope that helps. It works for me. I know you guys probably have a lot of different things that work for you as individuals. If you want to comment below, I'm sure you could help some other artists out reading the comments as well. Just things that work for you. So anyway, I know it's been a little while since I've uploaded a video. I've just been kind of working on stuff, and videos, I always stay drawing, but videos sometimes fall by the wayside, which I'm trying to get better about that. I always go through these dry spells like slumps, so maybe I should do a video on staying out of YouTube video slumps or something. But I've got quite a few videos that I'm really want to work on. I've got some new awesome drawing pencils that I got for Christmas, and I really want to do a review video of them, because a lot of people on Instagram and stuff have been asking about them. So that'll be coming up soon. And then actually the 2 videos I really am going to be making soon are the children's book video where I show how I made this, and then I also am going to do a video where I just read it to you and flip through the pages so you can kind of see the finished product. And I will be making this thing available if you want to buy it. And also, I'm probably just going to give this to you guys as like a PDF. If you have an iPad and stuff like that, on my website I'll have a PDF you can upload if you have kids and you want to show it to them, that kind of stuff, or just have it for yourself. So that'll be coming up here in probably the next week or two. So anyway, that's the video, you guys, and thanks for watching.